what? We have this to do? I didn't know about it. Well, doing this one task or this one habit of under 5 minutes can save you all of that. I didn't know. Crap, right? We're done with that.
Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Dianne Jimenez, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Organized-ish Parent Podcast. Today's episode is a quick one because it actually has to do with the one habit that you probably need to do and establish so that you are no longer freaking out, wondering what's next, if you're actually available. And it's also going to reduce your stress and worry. This habit literally can just take under 5 minutes to do, and it's not every day. So if you're just tuning in now and you're new here, welcome. My name is Dianne Jimenez. I'm a professional organizer. I help busy moms like you get organized, reclaim their time, and also get their kids helping out too, so that not everything has to fall on you to do, and you can get to do the things that you really want to do, like focus on, I don't know, your health, your self-care routine, or tending to another kid who's crying, or just enjoying a nice cup of coffee for the first time in a long time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're an avid listener or an oldie, but still a goodie that's been tuning into my podcast for now, I'd say over 3 years, thank you, thank you, thank you for being one of the dinosaurs. Can you say that 3 years ago? Well, actually, when you think about COVID and stuff, I know I said the bad C word. It seems like it was like it just happened, but you think about it, it was literally 5 years ago. And a lot has changed since then, right? And to bring it back to today's topic, where COVID made us all stay in the house and go online and get in touch with people through like our phones and learning how to do Zoom. Now it's like phone, Zoom, anything, get on a video call, not a problem. So talking about the whole electronic digital realm is what my topic is about today. And that is organizing yourself, your calendar, and your schedule so that everyone is involved or is in the know, and the people who need to know what's happening in the next near future, they're in the know. And when you have to plug in something, or your spouse or something has to plug in something into the calendar, they know exactly whether or not they're free or you're free or the family is available or not, right? So this device, our phones and stuff like that, they're our best friend. And sometimes it can be like the worst thing in the world. Now, I'm not going to get into like social media or anything like that because, I'm there too, scrolling and playing on my cell phone games. But having this calendar on my phone has been like the biggest lifesaver and the biggest communicator between myself and my husband, especially when we don't get to see each other for big chunks of the day, when it's go, 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 zip, 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 hi, bye, dinner's in the Tupperware, or it's on the stove, just grab it there and I'll see you at 10 o'clock. And by the time they come home, you're exhausted and you're just like, clocking out. So having a digital calendar, this is something that I completely like encourage a lot of parents to get into. But most of all, and I think I've been saying this since the beginning of even when I started professional organizing 6 years ago, that getting on a digital calendar and sharing it with your spouse, your partner, or whoever other adult that helps you raise the kids with is in the know of your calendar too. Now, I'm not even talking about like the stuff that has to do with the kids. For sure, that's important. It's for sure the other people, it'd be a good idea for the other people to know about it, right? But I'm talking about like if you're in an important meeting, a Zoom call, or you're having a self-care day, it's kind of good for them to know that you're not available. Now, another reason why I decided to pop in here kind of like off the cuff and talking about our calendars and our schedules and digital and everything. There's probably a ton of you guys out there listening. And if you're like me, we are still loving our own pen and paper calendar on a planner agenda type style. So I have one of these and I've had it for the past, I have my collection there of planners that I gotta get rid of for sure. Every year, my husband gets me this like in October, November when Costco has it. So basically, it's this planner, it's huge, and I get to write all the stuff and block out all the stuff, the areas where I'm not available, or I got something going on, or I have work on my podcast or something like that, or guesting on a podcast, which by the way, I have been a guest on a couple of podcasts these last 2 months. So I'm going to link it in today's show notes so you can check it out. Yeah. So having a calendar like this big, helps me because I'm very visual and I need to see things and draw things out so I can see the map and the trajectory and I can see where there's pockets of time where I'm available for XYZ, right? Coffee with the girls or mimosas on a random Tuesday after brunch, right? But all that to say, in this calendar, I don't only plug in my business related things, I also plug in the things that relate to the kids. Okay. And I write them in different, now I've gotten to like color coding. I have a little post-it here in my office of what each color represents. So anything that's green is for me, that's personal. Anything that's blue, like teal, is relating to the kids. So right away, when I see something that's blue, green, whatever, I know it's not business related. So that's just for me. And I'm very visual, like I said. So because I have a physical calendar, like many of you do too, and a lot of us have the digital calendar that's totally free on our phone, and you can totally share it with your spouse. I know with Samsung, you can, right? Samsung all the way. I'm not sure about Apple, okay? We're not an Apple household. So I don't want to get into that, but that's a whole other conversation. But anyhow, because I have these two methods of keeping track of my schedule, it doesn't mean that they're independent from each other. So what I mean, because I have stuff that's in this physical calendar for my kids, I have stuff that's relating to them. So for me to know that no, I'm not available for a consult. I'm not available to coach someone on this afternoon because I am picking up a kid to bring them to so and so activity or whatever it is with the kid, appointments or something like that. I can physically see it here. So you can guarantee that 99% of the time of the stuff that's in my physical calendar relating to the kids and like personal stuff for me is also on this phone. If anything, a lot of stuff is on the calendar that's shared with my husband, and the other personal business stuff that I don't have to put here that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the family schedule will stay in my calendar. So you might also have a family calendar, a physical calendar, where everybody gets to see your, I guess, the hub of your house in the kitchen. Usually you post this calendar of all the things that's happening. And I love that too. I completely support that, especially if you have young kids and they don't have devices or whatever, or just family who don't rely on their devices as much, but they need that physical calendar so everybody can visually see the busyness of the week and all the stuff going on, right? So, all of this to say is it can get hella crazy if you have these different methods for making sure that you have all your stuff, your schedule, that you're basically you have these different methods that keeps you on track. Where it can get really confusing, stressful, you're wasting time and you're at a loss because you have no idea if you have room in your week for XYZ, or if your partner is available to go have dinner with another couple or whatever it is. The problem is when the digital and the physical calendars do not blend and mesh and are not in sync. So let me give you a story. A couple of days ago, I got into a conversation with a girlfriend and we were just talking about whatever, life, family, kids, and stuff going on at home, what works, what doesn't, and organizing and stuff like that, because we always got to talk about those things. But she told me about, like, she had an appointment I don't know if it was last month or something like that, and they had to reschedule something, or basically find out if she can make the next appointment or the follow-up appointment or something like that. And even though she had her phone with her, she couldn't give them a confirmed, like, answer to say whether or not she can be there at that specific time, whatever they gave her, their next availability. Even though that appointment was for her, that would mean that she would have to be removed from the schedule at home so that she can tend to this appointment. And she was freaking out because she didn't know if she could even make it. And then just thinking about, okay, when I get home, I have to remember to check the calendar, check with my husband to see if this day works and coordinate, and then remind myself to call that office and let them know, okay, I have this date. Does it work? And then they have to see, oh yeah, it does work, or maybe it doesn't, or can you move this date? Can we do it on this time or this date? It's back to checking to see, right? So can you see how much time, energy is just wasted on all of that when things are not in sync, coordinated, and like on top, basically, what do you call it? I guess in sync, right? With one another. And this habit that I'm going to tell you, it's not really a big secret, but it's so simple. And, you want to kind of say, like, oh my God, that's so dumb. But it's going to change your world and avoid that whole scenario that I just drew out for you before, or painted out for you before, of like not knowing if you're even available, getting home, checking all the areas to see if you are, coordinating yourself with the other person to see if you are, and the kid's schedule, and then reminding yourself, oh, yes, I gotta not forget to call for that appointment and book it before someone else does. Do you see what I'm saying? Just the little habit of getting these, your physical and your digital calendars in sync, will save you so much brain power, energy, time, and just like you won't feel depleted after. Like you just lost valuable, I don't know, multiple minutes trying to figure this out and then calm yourself afterwards because you're just so stressed out. Okay. So the habit that I am going to show you, and like, I guess, ta-da, this is what it is. It's literally getting into the habit that whenever you receive like an appointment or information that needs to be plugged into a calendar, that you do the next crucial thing, and that is to copy it into the other format that you keep your schedule in. That's it. So, example, if let's say I have an appointment that I have to put here because I'm at the place, and they're like, "Hi, Miss Jimenez, are you available on Tuesday?" Blah, blah, blah. I'll look in my calendar and I can also see my husband's stuff, whether it's work related or jujitsu related. I can see that, yes, I'm available. My kids have other things, so we don't really have to tend to them because they're busy already. So I do have a window to go to that appointment. So once I plug this in, I share it with the husband. Okay. And my kids don't have cell phones, like smartphones right now. So I don't have to do that. The third step, well, which would also be sharing it with everybody else who's involved. But the next thing I do, and this is what I do every week. So this is a little bonus segment that I'm going to tell you about, that every week, sometimes on Thursdays, depending, or on the weekend on Sundays, before the week starts, I'll look in my cell phone and plug in for the next week or two what I'm putting here in my physical calendar, so that I can manage myself with my business and my work, so that I am working efficiently and using up my time, I guess, efficiently and maximizing it. I hope you understood that. So, the big secret is out. If you're going to have to add something to your schedule, delete, modify, whatever it is, in one method, in one format where you keep the schedule, make sure you do the next best step, the next crucial step, and that is to sync it with the people and with the other method that you keep your schedule in, your calendar basically. So sync up your two calendars right away, because that will also avoid not only just the frustration and the confusion and just like loss of like, am I available? Like I said earlier, it is also a great way of communicating with your family of the goings ons in this, in the house, okay, with your life and stuff. It's all good. As parents, we know everything that's going on with the kids, what they have to do, where they're going, we're going next, which party, what activity, who they hang out with, all that stuff. But you know, it's a good thing for them too to know what's going on with you, because maybe, just maybe, you know what, you want to go to Billy's house for a play date and they can't come get you or something, but you have to bring them, or I don't know what, and they see your schedule like, oh no, mom is in a meeting, or mom is volunteering at my school for blah blah blah, right? So this is huge for communication and getting everyone on the same page. Speaking of which, I will link the episode where I have the method, or how or why it's important to get everybody on the same page. And I walk you through how to do that. So I'll link it in the episode. I'm forgetting what number it is. I think it's 62 or 63. But come back to this podcast episode, diannejimenez.com/71, and see the show notes to find out the various podcast episodes that I'm going to link to you. All right. So I know that was a little long winded and very like off the cuff and maybe like a little bit all over the place, but a little recap, or just to sum everything up. If you're going to add anything to your calendar, make sure you're definitely updating the other calendars. This literally takes under 5 minutes to do, and it's just going to save you massive headaches, heartaches, and wasted time, wasted energy, and all the stuff that I named before. And if you've ever been in that position where, you know, you get your spouse or your kids or you yourself saying, I didn't know, or what, we have this to do, I didn't know about it. Well, doing this one task or this one habit of under 5 minutes can save you all of that I didn't know crap, right? We're done with that. So, my marching orders for you. Super, super simple. I know by the time you get to this episode, it's going to be a Thursday. It's the perfect time for you to take 5 minutes to just sync up, physically sync up your physical and your digital calendars that you have. And if you have to share the event with your family, bonus, do it. Okay. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed and got some great takeaways. And if this is something you've already done, then hey, kudos to you for keeping the conversation open, being fully transparent with your day and your time, because as couples, because of the busyness of life, transparency is everything. It's almost like the new sexy. Can I say that? Anyhow, so that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode and share it with your spouse, your friends, if you found any kind of a value or that something that you took away from this and that it can help someone else that's probably in a situation that's similar. So if there's anything at all, you can always find me on Instagram at the number one, tidy place. Send me a DM there. You can say, hey, Dianne, how's it going? Or on my YouTube channel, when you watch this, just put a little hi or anything. I'd so appreciate your time in doing that. All right. Thank you, my friends. That's it for me. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.